Hi, in this video I'm going to explain how to rewrite a quadratic function from standard form, which is written as y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, rewriting it from that form to vertex form, also known as graphing form, which is y equals to a times x minus h squared plus k. So we're going to go ahead and look at an example to see how we can rewrite from standard form to vertex form. All right, looking at our first example, we have y equals to x squared minus 6x minus 5. So right now, the way this is written, it is written in standard form, where our a equals 1, our b is negative 6. So let me write that down. Our a equals 1, our b equals negative 6, and the c value is negative 5. Now, there are advantages for both forms. For example, when it's in standard form, the advantages for graphing would be that we can see the y-intercept. So just by looking at the standard form, I know that my y-intercept is 0, negative 5. So when x is 0, y is negative 5. We always have a y-intercept when x is 0. So we can see if we plug in 0 into this equation, these two terms will become 0 and we would be left with negative 5. But I want to go ahead and rewrite this in vertex form. So the first thing you want to do is bring your constant negative 5 to the other side of the equation. So we are going to add 5 to both sides. So once I add 5 to both sides, I'm going to rewrite the equation as y plus 5 equals to x squared minus 6x. All right, once we have our binomial here on the right side, what we want to do is create a perfect square trinomial. So a perfect square trinomial is created by completing the square. So how do we complete the square? We take half of negative 6. So half of negative 6, let me write this on the side. Half of negative 6 would mean divide it by 2 and then square it. So what is half of negative 6 squared? Half of negative 6 is negative 3 squared, which is 9. So what we want to do with this is we are going to add 9 to both sides. Now, when we add 9, we have completed the square. But if I add 9 to the right side of the equation, to keep it balanced, I have to add 9 to the left side of the equation. So adding 9 to the right means I need to add 9 to the left, because whatever I do on one side, I must do on the other. 5 plus 9 is 14, so I would get y plus 14 is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 9. All right, once we have completed the square, we can now use this trinomial, which is a perfect square trinomial, and we can factor it. Now, you can probably do this mentally in your head. What two numbers give us 9 when we multiply that add up to negative 6? Well, if you said negative 3 and negative 3, you are correct. Well, that is no coincidence that that matches half of our b. So let's go ahead and rewrite that as, so this is x minus 3 times x minus 3, and I will just rewrite what we have on the left. Once I factor this trinomial, I have two binomials, the exact same. How can I rewrite these two binomials so that I have a binomial squared? Well, I can just rewrite this as x minus 3 squared, and we have on the left y plus 14. Now, the last step here is to just subtract 14 on both sides because we want to isolate our y. So subtracting 14 on both sides, we would have y equals to x minus 3 squared minus 14. And now our equation is in vertex form. So let's go ahead and check our work. Now, recall we said that our y-intercept when was in standard form was 0, negative 5. Well, let's check to see if we get an intercept of 0, negative 5 if we plug in 0 here. So checking for a y-intercept, we should get also 0, negative 5. Let's go ahead and see if that's true. If I plug in 0 here, I can just quickly check. 0 minus 3 squared minus 14, that would give us negative 3 squared minus 14, which is 9 minus 14, which is indeed negative 5. So this equation does match. This is the vertex form of the equation right up here, which is in standard form. Now, the advantages of vertex form is we can easily make a quick sketch. That's why this form is also called graphing form. So if I made a quick sketch of this equation, this tells me that the vertex here is 3, negative 14. So let me go ahead and write the characteristics. So the vertex is 3, negative 14. That tells us that the axis symmetry is x equals 3. So let's go ahead and make that sketch here. I will just draw 3 units right, and I could put a negative 14 down here. It is a sketch, so I will put my vertex at 3, negative 14. The graph opens up. Now I do have a y-intercept at negative 5, so I could put a point of 0, negative 5 here and draw my axis of symmetry, and then go ahead and make my sketch. Now, this is a sketch, so it is not accurate, but it does show the main points, which is that the vertex is at 3, negative 14. My y-intercept is at 0, negative 5. And my equation is y equals to x minus 3 squared minus 14.